Hello again. Today I'm going to talk about the mystery of the monoliths popping up in different countries. And I first heard about this 2 weeks ago and found it interesting, very interesting. I like a good mystery. So the first monolith, was found back in 2016. Now there's a talk that it could have been before then, but the date I've come up over is 2016, and it popped up in Utah. Now this started attracting a bit of attention from people. I heard someone had first spotted it on Google Earth. I am not sure how true that one is, but it was a structure made of 3 sides. It was metal, and looking at the photographs I've seen, it looks very smooth and mirrored. Now there are different theories out there as to where it came from. Some are saying it's a piece of artwork, right through to others saying it's to do with aliens placed it there. I'm going to go through this and you're going to have to make your own mind up. So I'm going to now take you over to Twitter to show you the first image of the one in Utah. Tweet is from someone called Localized, and it was posted on the 30th of November this year, 2020. And he's included 3 pictures. This one is slightly dark, but as you can see, it's got, well, you can see 2 sides. You can't see the 3 sides, but it's got 3 sides. Now looking at the base here, and I'm telling you this because of the Romanian one, you can see the earth is packed. It looks like it's been cut into the earth, not the earth exactly being dug up, but that could be because of the type of ground it is. It could also be the fact that it's been there since at least 2016. I'll show you another angle. You see the size of it compared to the rock face, and it's just in the middle of nowhere. And the last picture, I heard it was spotted on Google Earth. I think these 2 men, I think there was 3 of them, are the ones that actually found it. Now whether they saw it on Google Earth and went out to look, or they walked across it, I don't know. But there's the monolith for you. Now we're on Google Earth. This here, where my cursor is Utah. I will scroll into that in a second. The one here is the California one. Keep an eye on the distance. Now this is just something I spotted and may not mean anything, but just a rough estimate of that distance in your mind. I've just scrolled in a little way to give you an idea, because it says Utah there. You've got Sandy, Provo, Salt Lake, Colorado Springs, Santa Fe, Albuquerque. Just for those who know this area in America, there's nothing closer by the look of it. And as we scroll in, you've got the Grand Junction there. It looks very rocky to me, the whole area. Like I say, I don't know about this area. I'm just scrolling a little bit more to give you an idea that it's in the middle of nowhere. This over here is the Colorado River. You can see there's no houses around at all. I'll go in a little bit further and you see how rocky it is. Rocky, mountainous, whatever word you want to use. I was hoping to get in a bit closer, but my graphics card's not that great, but they're the actual coordinates of where this monolith was. I think that's just a shadow. I don't think that's the monolith. And plus, it was taken down. So I'm presuming these are up to date. So I've come back to the article, and on November the 27th, 2020, it was no more. It was gone. Now, there isn't a photographer out there that was there at the time it was taken down. There's images of his visit there on the day, and if I'm remembering rightly, 4 people came, took it down, and wheeled it away in a wheelbarrow. And the interesting thing was, the day after it was taken down, another monolith popped up in Romania. Now, is it a coincidence? Who knows? The difference between the Utah monolith and this monolith was this one had swirls on it, and it wasn't as smooth like the other one. I'm going to show you some images in a second, but this appeared near apparently a well-known place, but I've never heard of it before. Petra Deva, and I can't say it either, Dacian fortress, and it was a full fort built by the ancient Dacian people between 82 BC and AD 106, and that was according to the metro.co.uk. Now, this monolith has also since been removed. But once again, I'll take you over to some images. Right, this is from disclosed.tv over on Twitter, and they put a metal monolith identical to the one recently found in Utah has just appeared on the hillside in Romania. And here it is. I'm going to click on it. Let's see if we can get a better view. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of swirly lines on that one. It doesn't look as smooth. It looks like it's 3-sided. It's hard to say what height it is, but I believe they're all roughly the same height. As you can see the difference round the base here, you can see that soil has been dug up and it's been placed in there. Now, there may not be anything to that, because like I say, in the Utah one, it had been there a few years and the earth around it was different to the soil in Romania. This isn't as remote. You can see this looks like a river there, and I think there's buildings around, and you got your telephone wires. Again, I'll take you back over to Google Earth and show you on Google Earth. Now, this is Romania over here. Whoops. And there is another one that's appeared in the UK, but I'm just eyeballing here. But to me, that distance looks similar to the difference between the Utah and the California one. Just found that interesting myself. So I'm going to scroll into Romania. I might have to pause. We'll see how it goes. Right, I've scrolled in a way, and as you can see, in Romania it's more built up with the houses and everything, even though it looks like it's in a wide space here. I'm not even going to attempt to name the places nearby. And it's at Piatra Nimt, however you pronounce it. And around it looks like you've got a lot of trees, and as you can see, it's built up. Now, for this one, it doesn't mean it was exactly placed where the marker is, but it is close around this area. What's that? So interesting. It's in an open, more or less an open space anyway. Then we had a monolith that popped up in California, Now, before I go any further, I've heard two different stories here. I've heard this one popped up after the one in Romania was taken down. I don't know if it was the day after or within a few days, I'm not sure. But I also have heard that the California one popped up after the Utah one was taken down. So I'm not sure what order it is, what way round it is. Well, this one was found on a hill. Here we go again with me pronouncing things. In Atascadero. Now, I've probably got that wrong and butchered it, so I do apologise. But California. Now, from looking at different articles, it sounds like this was discovered on the 2nd of December 2020. And from the images I'm about to show you, it looks very much like the one that was placed in Utah. This Twitter post was from the New York Magazine, and they say another day, another monolith, this time placed atop of a mountain in Atascadero in California. And we're going to open this one, and I'll tell you what I find interesting. Okay, this is, let's see if we can get this bigger. There we go. Oops. Don't know what I did there. What I found interesting about this one, it's smooth and it's mirrored like the Utah one. I've heard it's three-sided, even though you can't see that from this image. And if we look at the ground once again, now this has only just recently been found. So I think if the soil had been dug, we'd see evidence of that. Again, it doesn't look like the soil's been dug up to actually put it on, but maybe that's because of the type of the earth, etc. To me, it doesn't look that remote, because you've got buildings down here. I don't know the distance, but we'll have a look at Google Earth, I should say, and we'll see the area. So here we are in California. So there's Death Valley. We've got Santa Maria, a few different places. And there's the actual coordinates of the monolith itself. It's coastal. We're going to scroll in a little bit and take a look. There's some highways. I've got no control over this. One of these days. Again, I can't say it. Tassidera, was it? It looks quite remote from this distance, but as we go in, it's not as remote as what it looked, because they look like buildings around there, but it's in an open space more or less. There's a highway nearby. I presume it's a highway. We scroll in a little bit more. There's a building there. I do believe there's another building somewhere around here. From when I looked at it earlier, I can't see it now, but it looks like a dirt path. Oh yeah, there's the building, more buildings. But again, quite remote at the end of this track here. Trees around, looks quite rocky. Or are they bushes? Unsure. But again, in another semi-remote location. Now, I can't tell you if the one in California is still there or it's been removed like the other two. But then what I heard the other day is another monolith has been discovered on a beach over on the Isle of Wight. That came out wrong. Isle of Wight. Again, this one's three-sided structure with mirrored sides. So if you think about the Utah one, the California one, and this one I'm going to show you on the Isle of Wight, they were all smooth and mirrored, which makes me wonder if the Romanian one is something away from these other three, because that had the squirrels on it, the sides weren't as sharp, the soil was dug up. Just a whole lot of questions in my head here. But I'll take you over to the images like I did with the others, and then back over to Google Earth. Posted by Lad Bible over on Twitter, and it says it hits the UK, and what I liked was this alien face here. If I click on that, it does go to an article and the picture doesn't get any bigger. But there you go, there's the structure. You can see it's smooth. You can see it's mirrored. It's hard to say whether the sand was dug up because we know how sand works. But it's also quite remote as well, which you'll see when we go over to Google Earth. So we're going over to the UK, near the South Downs National Park, Leamington, Portsmouth, and here is the Isle of Wight, and as you can see it's a little island, and we're looking at a place called Compton Beach in Newport. So obviously it's coastal. We're going to scroll in. Now you can see the beach. Now, I do not have the actual coordinates for the monolith itself, so it could be anywhere along that beach. But to me it looks quite rural. It looks like it's part of farmland. There's possibly some buildings down here. I'm sure it must be a tourist spot any other year but 2020 because of this virus going on. But I don't know, with tourists not being there at the moment, has it been there longer than a few days? Maybe it's a local who spotted it. I mean, that the coordinates there are for the car park, but as we could see from the image on Twitter, it's actually along this beach somewhere. We've got something there. Could that be it? Possibly. It's hard to say. But it's interesting how all of them are remote, semi-remote, near water, apart from the Utah one. Certainly a mystery, that's for sure. But they're in no hurry to remove that one off the Isle of Wight either. Whether it will be removed or not at a later date, who knows. But all of them appear to be around the same height, same size, three-sided. For me personally, there's a noticeable difference in the Romanian one compared to the other three. The other three more or less look identical. And then when we look at the base with the earth, there's a difference there as well. So the question is, where did it come and why? So for me, I've got no idea at all, but it'll be interesting to hear your opinion and your thoughts on where you think they've come from. I've heard other theories than what I've spoke about. Now, was the first one in Utah an unusual sculpture by an artist? If it was, why would they put it in such a remote place? Surely, if you're an artist, you want your artwork seen. I don't believe that was a path that people would visit very often, so it could have been there a lot longer than what we know of. But if you were an artist, would you really want it in the middle of nowhere? That does not make sense to me. Place there. Now, the other monoliths that appeared, could they have been made by the same artist? I don't think so, because of the distance between them. But then when you look at the California, Utah and Isle of Wight one, what was I saying? I was rudely interrupted by the phone. It's one of those days. So, yeah, when you look at the California, Utah and Isle of Wight one, they more or less look identical. So you could say possibly they were from the same artist, but for the fact of the distance between them all. That don't make sense there. Maybe it's a team of people doing it. Who knows? Maybe a team of people created them. One artist at different times, then they arranged. That's a big plane going overhead. They arranged to place them all around about the same time. Possibly. Who knows? So we know the Utah one was removed on the 27th of November and the Isle of Wight one appeared just the other day, and we're now on the 8th of December, so in a short time really. Maybe there's copycats out there. 4 copycats, 3 copycats, a group of friends are involved in this. But another theory is down to aliens putting them there. Now, if there's a possibility of that, we need to ask why. Do you believe in aliens? Why? Now, if it was aliens, it's not going to be because it's artwork. Why would they go to all that trouble? That does not make sense. If it's aliens, there's got to be a good reason for it. Which then takes me back to something I heard the other day on a video. And this was a channel communication by Blossom Goodchild. And her messages come from the Federation of Light. Now, not everyone's into this. You need an open mind. I'm going to leave the video link. It's certainly worth listening to, but please use an open mind on this one. And she talks about, the Federation of Light talks about why they are here. These monoliths are here. Now, I'll talk about channeling in a future video and share my experience with channeling. But it's because of my experiences that I do listen with an open mind to other channelers. I've got no reason to disbelieve aliens are being channeled. I do have a problem with certain people who say they're channeling. There's a difference. But there's Blossom's YouTube link to the video. I'll put it in the description. Have a watch, make up your own mind, but keep an open mind. But this then led me on to my last video. Is there a connection with the Great Awakening, with the conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter on the 21st of December? Again, I'll let you decide on that one. I've got a funny feeling there might be a connection here. So whichever way you look at these monoliths, there's certainly a mystery at this stage. I, for one, love a good mystery. I hope you do. Do mysteries always get solved? Not always. Do a little bit of research, watch the channeled message, see what conclusions you come to on the subject, and please share your thoughts, whether it's in the description below or over on the post on Webtalk, because I will be posting this video on Webtalk, and you're welcome to comment on that thread there. And I'm going to leave you with it. Do a little bit of research and tell me your theories.